Good morning, everybody. My name is Lilly, and today I have another update of the situation in Europe again. Okay, so first I would like to show you this article in which it's saying that the EU Commission halves growth forecast for Germany again. The economic expectations for Germany are below the EU average. Also now here there's an interesting article saying that the sense of justice in Germany has gone completely awry. A social system that invites abuse, high achievers who serve as a source of income, and a state that grants its civil servants special privileges. More and more people start to feel that they are getting ripped off with taxes and with bad services that they are paying for. So I would say that a lot of Germans are not looking into the future with a positive outlook anymore. Also now Germany wants to become a tank manufacturer. It is the largest state investment in an arms company. The Federal Republic of Germany intends to acquire a 40% stake in the arms company KNDS. Germany plans to invest billions of taxpayers' money to participate in the upcoming IPO of the Franco-German tank manufacturer KNDS. And operate on an equal footing with France. After months of wrangling over the size of the government stake, the decision has now been made. Germany will initially acquire a 40% stake in the defense company. Wow. So for producing tanks, they always have money. Also, what's going on in Austria? Here we can see an article which is saying that the government makes ruthless cuts to pensions for 2.1 million people. There is going to be a no full cost of living adjustment. So the pensions just got raised, but some pensions stayed below the inflation rate. So as a pensioner, I would be really angry about the government, because if you have worked, I don't know, 40, 45, 50 years in your life, and then you don't get the pension that once was promised to you, that is really not okay. Also, this article is very concerning. Here it's saying that Palantir takes control of Britain's health data. The surveillance state of the health authority is becoming a reality through this project, which deeply intrudes on the privacy of every citizen. The company Palantir apparently receives unlimited access to identifiable patient data from the National Health Service NHS. What is being sold as increased efficiency and modernization is in the reality a construction of a comprehensive surveillance apparatus under the guise of digitalization. Internal documents now reveal that external Palantir employees have unlimited access to personal, identifiable patient data and not just anonymized statistics. Awesome, so now they exactly know what kind of illnesses you have or had, how it was treated, how often you were in this or in that hospital. I don't like the idea of it, so I don't think this is great. The opposite of awesome, I would say. If you want to support my channel, the best way to do so is to buy a Odenwolf knife. Odenwolf is a really awesome company. They make high quality knives like this one here for a really good price. And this one happens to be a Scandinavian camping knife, and I really like this knife. I always have it in my car, and if you check out their website you will find many other great knife models, and with my discount code Lilly10 you will get a 10% discount. So if you want to support my channel, make sure that you check out the affiliate link in the description below. Now in Austria, food will become a little bit cheaper. Usually in Austria, if you purchase food in the store, it will have a 10% value added tax on it. But now they are reducing this value added tax to 4.9%. So that's minus 5.1%. And that's great, that's a great thing. It's not going to be a huge difference, but it's better than nothing. So private households are expected to save an average of 100 euros per year. But of course, the government doesn't have something to give out without taking something in return. So this adjustment, the tax adjustment, will cost the government 400 million euros per year. And to offset this measurement, a parcel tax of €2 per shipment is to be introduced. And this parcel tax is especially for people who are having online shops, and especially if you are, for example, selling on big companies like Amazon. So this will be an additional €2 per parcel. And this is how they are going to offset this tax reduction. Also in Germany, they caught some Chinese spies. And when I read this, I thought, what the hell are they spying on? Are they spying on the wrecked economy in Germany? Or are they spying on how a country will slowly develop into a socialist communist country? So yeah, very interesting. But actually these spies, they spied on technology at German universities. The two arrested individuals attempted to obtain scientific information on military technology. Okay. Both German citizens are alleged to have established contacts with numerous scientists at a German university and research institutions on behalf of a Chinese intelligence agency. Another very concerning article. Here it's saying the EU Parliament votes on concealed genetic engineering. The new NGT1 plants are going to be without GM labeling because consumers would otherwise reject them. So now they're going to produce genetically modified food, but the label on the package of the food doesn't have to say anymore it's genetically modified. So basically they are not asking for our consumer consent anymore. You might purchase even something which is saying organic, but they have also changed the law. So now they can even produce organic foods which are genetically modified, and they don't have to state that on the label in the European Union. So that's a new thing, and I have to say I'm really concerned about it. And I don't really like genetically modified plants. I think for my personal life, I don't want to eat it. Also, I think it's not necessary because we already have really high yield plants on this planet, which are great. And I'm not alone with this opinion. So 86% of Austrians don't want to eat genetically modified food. And that's a pretty significant number. So we don't want this. But the European Union is forcing this onto us. Here they are saying the aim is to relax the strict GMO rules for convention-like modifications. NGT1 products will no longer have to be labeled as genetically modified, with the explicit justification that GM labeling is negatively perceived and leads to limited consumer acceptance. In other words, the public shouldn't know what they are eating, so they don't reject it. And this is really crazy New World Order 1984 shit. So yeah, I have to say I'm really concerned about this. It's really concerning to me what they are doing to our food. And I really don't want to eat that. Also, actually in Germany, in the south, there are large natural gas fields in the soil. But for whatever reason, it's not tapped because citizens are protesting loudly against the extraction, and also politicians are also hesitant. A lot of money is at stake. So because of this, in times of an energy crisis, the resource is not tapped. It's unbelievable. Also, China is probably going to take over car manufacturing in Germany. Volkswagen is debating whether Chinese manufacturers should produce in domestic factories. Opel has already opted for this. It's a strategy that carries a high risk. The reason? German and European plants are no longer operating at sufficient capacity in many places, putting tens of thousands of jobs at risk. In Germany, there are preparations taken for a mass casualty incident. Escape routes to bunkers, 110,000 cots, €10 billion program for civil defense is going to be planned. With billions in investment, the German government aims to prepare Germany for crisis, attacks and a potential national emergency. Plans include new shelters, Even underground parking garages could play a role. We are upgrading our civil protection and defense capabilities. This will be done with a clear stance against hybrid threats and consistent support for volunteer forces. Military and civil defense will be more closely integrated to increase security and resilience. Underground parking garages are to be recorded in a register and integrated into a warning app. This will allow the fastest route to the nearest bunker. Yeah, I don't know, man. I got a bad feeling about this. I just hope that my country, Austria, is going to stay neutral and not participate in any military action. Large corporations are causing veterinary prices to skyrocket. Veterinary costs have been rising rapidly for years. Low-income earners and pensioners are warned that they are no longer will be able to afford pets. A couple had a cat, 16 years old and seriously ill, underwent maximum treatment therapy 11 days, and it cost them 19,000 euros. Price horror for strawberries. 8 euros per kilo is normal this year. Strawberries will become significantly more expensive in 2026. Experts warn of prices reaching up to 12 euros per kilogram. Now the farmers are struggling with high production costs. Around 60% of their investment goes toward wages. Compared to 2015, the prices have risen around 70%. Okay, so at the end of the video, I would like to give you an update on my veggie garden. And my strawberries are not ripe yet, but in a week the harvest will start. Okay guys, so this is my garden this year. I have some onions to the right, some blueberries to the left, and then I got a couple of strawberries and this strawberry field, which is really nice. And now it's a little bit early in the season, so right now the strawberries are not ripe yet, but in a few days the harvest starts, and then I will be making strawberry jam. Hi Amy, how are you doing? And yeah, here I got more onions. I got more herbs at this side. I have planted tomatoes 2 days ago. So really nice San Marzano tomatoes. And yeah, I just have to put some straw on the beds yet. And then here I have my lettuce. And I just pick the leaves from every plant every day. So this way you get the most harvest. Yeah, my potatoes are doing really well this year. It's crazy. This is at the back. I have 2 cucumbers, but they are still young, so it's very early in the season. And yeah, in here I got more tomato plants. And this year it was really hard to bring them through. A lot of tomatoes died. And this, although I was using a whole lot of candles inside of a tunnel, but still it was so cold this spring. So we will have a tomato harvest like 1 month later than usually. So yeah, this is my small veggie garden and it brings me a lot of joy. So yeah guys, thank you for watching and stay tuned till next time.